Alright, so what has been done to the Supra?
Alright, so from what I know, personally, there is a aftermarket boost controller so I can turn up the boost, aftermarket exhaust, upgraded brakes in the front, some crummy wheels and tires until I get new ones. Let's see what's in the interior. A new head unit that I need to replace. It's right-hand drive, of course. There's a boost controller in there. There's a turbo timer under the steering wheel. There's a electric fan controller on top of the steering wheel. Aftermarket Momo steering wheel. Of course, it's auto. So I plan on tracking this thing a little bit, and I don't really mind having an auto. It seems to hold boost a little bit better than manual, the 6 speeds. Let's see what else has been done under the hood. I'll pop up the hood. Under the hood, there's a aftermarket blow-off valve, Blitz blow-off valve. Let's see. Aftermarket Blitz blow-off valve, coilovers, HKS coilovers, really nice coilovers, blow-off valve, upgraded radiator. There's a new intake, high air intake, high flow intake. Let's see what else. Some other bits and bobs that aren't really necessary to list, and then just some kind of maintenance has been done recently. Doesn't look too pretty under there. I need to get engine dress-up kits or something like that, new hoses, etc., etc. Outside of that, I'm trying to think. Oh, and a carbon fiber strut bar in the back of the trunk. I can show that. Yeah, Cusco carbon fiber bar, reinforcement bar. From what I know, it's probably it outside of the exhaust, if I hadn't mentioned that. Just some crummy exhaust. Plan on going straight pipe at some point. Some other bits and bobs. I'll probably order a new hood. Possibly a catless downpipe. I mean, she has enough power right now. So I mean she puts down power. She just can't grip with the crap tires and wheels. So the new wheels and tires are somewhat of a necessity sometime soon.
Now, how much boost are you running?
Ballpark, I'm somewhat on low boost right now. About a 1.2 bar, which is it about 17 psi? About 17, maybe 18 if I'm feeling lucky, but usually I'm just running on a single bar, which is about 14 and a half.
Now, have you noticed any boost lagging or?
No, I mean, it's sequential twin turbos. I mean, they're stock turbos. It's just running, more boost, a little bit more boost. So the second turbo, if you guys aren't familiar with sequential turbos, is it runs on the first turbo, and then the second turbo comes online at around 4,500 to 5,000 RPM. I can run it in something called TTC mode, which basically runs in parallel at the same time. So it's just a big single turbo. I get more lag, but I get more pump, I guess, when the turbos kick in. I have no plans on doing that. Down the line, potentially, maybe I'll go single turbo, maybe like a 67 millimeter or something like that. That costs money, and it's fast enough as it is, so I don't really mind. I'd rather keep it a little bit more stock and drive it and enjoy it for how it is right now, and then maybe down the line I'll dump money into it. But I mean, it's nothing to complain about how quick it is now. I spin the tires for most of the gears, so when it's a little bit damp, so I don't mind. I mean, it's fast enough for me. Let's see what else has been done. I'm trying to think.
Are you thinking about doing any chips?
Oh, yeah, it has an aftermarket retuned. It's running on a different tune. I forgot to mention. That's a big one. So it's running on a different tune currently. It was tuned in Japan. So it's basically just a remap, stock ECU remap. So that's what allows me to get a little bit more power out of it currently, how it is. So a new ECU possibly down the line. I don't know. I mean, if I go single, yeah, but I don't plan on doing that anytime soon.
Now, what about intercooler piping or?
Oh, yeah, that's another possible project. Front mount intercooler, as it sits now, there's no front mount, which kind of sucks because a lot of people know Supras as having these huge, massive front mount intercoolers in the mouth. A lot of people don't know that. I guess Supras are the turboed versions stock have side mount intercoolers. I didn't. Actually, yeah, you can see it right here. Little tiny side mount. And from what I've read, they're good for up to about 700 horsepower, which I don't plan on doing that, but intercooler possibly, yeah. It's just a matter of how lazy I am in the future.
Now, what about your blow-up valve? Would you get a bigger blow-up valve, or would you keep
Oh, yeah, I mean, it's pretty loud how it is. Here, I'll start it up and pop the hood. That's something, another thing I might want to do, possibly. It's kind of just, from what I know, it's a crummy blow-up valve. But it sounds good. I mean, blow-up valve's pretty loud.
Sounds pretty beautiful.
But let's see, little tiny things I need to do is get just a little case for the fuse box, a cover. Outside of that, it's mostly cosmetics. Possibly replace the hood because there's a stain on it. Let's see, maybe paint the cover for the
2JZ?
Yeah, I mean I don't know, kind of dark army green. I don't know if someone had painted that already, but oh, and it also has upgraded HID headlights, which I forgot to mention.
I was just about to ask you that about HIDs and what you want to do with headlights.
Yeah, I'll turn them on. They have the HID housings, and then the rest of them, the brights and everything, are halogen. Possibly get a new bumper down the line. I don't know.
What about, would you get a front lip for it, or?
Yeah, that's one thing I'd consider. Because currently, as it sits, this is just a stock lip. But I mean, the car's pretty low as it sits already, so I'm not in a big rush to do that. If I were to get a new bumper, which over time I might consider because there's a few just kind of chips and stuff, and I mean this car is nearly 25 years old. It's about as old as I am. I might consider getting a new bumper, but again, I'm not in too bad of a rush to do that. I mean it looks great for being 25 years old. The only things I really need to concentrate on is maybe just the wheels and tires for now, just cosmetic stuff. But I mean the front fascia I'm not really concerned about. It looks great, so just wheels and tires really, and any aftermarket like parts to boost horsepower, I mean that's gonna be put on hold for right now.
Looks pretty sweet. What would you say the ride quality is like in this thing?
Well, I mean, okay, I mean it's on coilovers, so the ride quality is pretty crap. But it's race cars, so I don't really mind. I've owned a lot of previous cars that have had actually worse ride quality. I've had an Audi TT, which was terrible ride quality, and I think the suspension might have been shot. So this isn't too bad. I don't mind the ride quality at all. Driving right-hand drive isn't. isn't too bad. A lot of people ask me, you know, oh, is right-hand drive hard to drive around town? It took me a good couple hours to get used to it. Only a few hours, really. It kind of makes driving a little bit more hard to avoid potholes and stuff, because you have to kind of situate the car in a different manner than you would in left-hand drive. So, I mean, I get a lot of looks with the right-hand drive for people that aren't into cars, and then the people that are into Supras and cars freak out because it's a Supra, and then it's compounded again by right-hand drive. So, you know, people just go crazy over this thing, which kind of concerns me sometimes. But
now, how much have you noticed people would take pictures and stop and stare?
Oh, every time I go out. I mean, I just got this thing running again today. I had changed out the spark plugs, and I did some other bits and bobs, fuel filter and stuff, so I hadn't driven it for a few days. And I was really anxious to drive it. And in between that time, I'd kind of forgotten about how much attention this thing draws. So driving down O Street a few times and making some laps, and then I went to the car wash and washed it, I probably had at least a dozen people stop, take pictures, talk to me, which is kind of cool. But for the people that think that's awesome, I mean, it kind of gets tiring after a while, especially if it might draw attention that you don't want in certain areas of town and stuff. You don't know what everybody's going to do when they pull up to you or talking to you about your car. I mean, they could throw crap at your car. You don't know. But for the most part, so far it's been good. The only negative aspects I've gotten from people are, oh, is it manual? Is it 6-speed? No, it's automatic. From what I know, the first gear seems to have been changed out for, it seems like a longer gear or something. I actually prefer auto. I waited a few years to find a car in the specs, white. I wanted auto. Not only is it $15,000 cheaper, but it seems in a performance aspect to go faster in a straight line, and it holds boost a lot better. You know, when I'm letting off throttle, it obviously drops boost, but when I'm shifting, when it shifts, it doesn't drop boost at all. And if I really want to, I can manually shift it. So it's not a big deal. I have another car that's a manual, so I'm not missing out too much.
So, all right, let's take this thing for a ride and kind of show everybody on how she drives and how much torque and power the beauty has. So, see you in a second.
Also, in the interior, it doesn't do readout in miles per hour. It's kilometers an hour, so I have to do an in-head conversion method in my head. 100 kilometers an hour is roughly 60, and it's kind of difficult to do, but I usually go under the speed limit in the store anyway. It draws enough attention as it is. Sitting as a passenger on the driver's side feels really weird.
Yeah.
Anybody that's sat in here, and they always tell me the same thing. It feels really bad. There should be a steering wheel over there. Yeah, I'll do a small little baby one. Roll into boost. My tires are spinning, so I can't get grip.